Hey YouTube, this is Fat to Fit here, and coming out to the track. The sun's coming up. I'm kind of excited. I like my local track, and I patronize it anytime I can, even though it's kind of a torture device, the round and round and round you go type thing. It's a little crazy, but awesome. Awesome sauce. Today, my discussion subject, fat shaming, skinny shaming, body type shaming, too big, too little, you fill in the blank. Everybody gets it. Okay, so I was talking to a pretty awesome co-worker of mine, pretty smart gal. She's very into the kind of new age movement, I'd say. Me, not so much. It's interesting, but I just can't buy into it and it's not what this video is about. But anyhow, she's talking about how do you know when you're being fat shamed? And her take on it, I thought it was pretty darn interesting, and I would agree with it, is that every fat shaming has to do with the person who's being shamed. So their perspective is, do they feel fat? Do they feel skinny? Do they feel fit? Whatever you want to call it. Or do they lack that feeling? And that's what you have to work from. It's just like making racial remarks or sexual remarks, sexual harassment. That's a big one. That would fall under that. It all depends on the person to perceive the problem. So you don't have to be overweight, whatever that is, overweight, quotation marks, to feel like you're overweight. Now that can fall into the heading of body dysmorphia, and that's a completely different subject. But in other words, maybe you're deathly skinny, or you have bulimia or anorexia, and trying to achieve a certain thing is dangerous for you. I guess you'd need the help of a psychologist and a doctor probably to determine if you've got that going on. But that's really not what I'm talking about here. So the individual, what do they think of themselves? Do they feel good about it? Do they feel like, one, do they feel good? Do they feel good about it? And do they feel like society feels good about it? Their friends, their family, whatever. And that requires the person who's going to make the statement that will be offending them, that requires them to empathize with that individual, get to know that person. I think it's interesting, these folks who get online and say, this person's fat or this person's whatever. Come on, man. There's no need for that. I'm not even saying that people shouldn't be rude. I'm just saying people shouldn't be rude about something that cuts so freaking deep. So, get to know people. Be their friend. Then make statements that you know at that point you're invested. You'll be more careful about what you're saying. So this isn't about the person to, in this instance, this isn't about the person to perceive things. It's about the individual saying the thing. So the individual makes the determination whether they feel fat or skinny or ugly or tall or whatever you want to call it, whatever that thing may be. This requires the individual who's going to make statements to really think about it, be invested, empathize with that person. What do they think? What do they know? What's their reality? So that's kind of where I'm going with that one. Because I've never really felt, even when I was, in my 225 pound range, I didn't really feel fat. I don't know. I guess part of it has to do with being mentally adjusted. Your kind of psychological health and fitness. Jeez. Huge. People just discount that. If you're skinny, you'll be happy. Or if you're muscular, you'll be happy. Or if you have some kind of car or whatever, you're going to be happy. Well, that's just not the way it works, friends. Being happy, being fit, having the drive, you got to have all those tools. If you don't, that's where things kind of fall apart. But, going beyond that, it involves people getting to know other people and making sound decisions on what to say to them. If let's say I'm 155 pounds and I'm telling somebody that's 300 pounds that I feel overweight, they're not going to buy into that. But that also then becomes on them. They need to understand my thinking. They need to empathize with my plight, such as I need to empathize with theirs. So it's about, I know it's just kind of new agey sound. It's just about being nice and happy and smiley and whatever. I think that you can make the claim that it's not necessary, or it's not like good or moral to be nice. There's a functionality to it too. Being nice to people serves a purpose. It says, hey, we're interconnected. That our lives are, have a symbiotic relationship. We treat people like crap, and oh man, it'll come back to you, bite you, karma, whatever you want to call it. So leave comments. Please like this video. Dear God, somebody subscribe to me, man. I still got more fingers than I have subscribers, so if you could help a fella out, I'd really appreciate it. Peace.